And former McDonald's USA CEO and former Famous Dave CEO Ed Rensi. Ed, thanks very much for joining us. A lot to get to with you, but I want to first kick it off with Disney's path forward here. How to deal with the PR fallout following this crisis as an individual who's led a giant company, McDonald's, for so long. How do you approach such a tragedy?
Well, any institution or business needs to have a crisis plan. And just like the Navy SEALs, they need to rehearse all different scenarios. They need to do threat assessments, risk management, risk mitigation, make sure they have a team, and then confess, communicate, and do everything they can to bring forward honest, truthful statements about what happened and not to open their mouth till they know the facts. This is a horrible tragedy. 45 years experience. It never happened before. But when you have lagoons in Florida, you better think that there's alligators in there, and you better prepare that there could be this kind of tragedy. Now, I know a lot of the folks at Disney. They're great management people, and they will do the best they can to take care of that family. That family need not worry about Disney's behavior going forward.
Do you think they've handled it well so far? I mean, obviously, Bob Iger is just devastated as well. He called the family. Lise Wheel, legal expert, was on with us earlier saying, look, you have to believe there's going to be lawyer after lawyer calling the family and pushing them to sue.
Well, of course, you know, all the ambulance chasers are going to come out of the woodwork. But time will soften that down. It's time to grieve. Let's allow that family to come to the fact that they've lost a 2-year-old child. My God, I've got grandchildren. What a horrific thing. Let's give them a chance to breathe. Let's not do a post-mortem on all the legal issues. Let's worry about the future of families that are going to go to Florida and enjoy a great vacation. This is a once-in-a-lifetime problem. They'll overcome it. It'll be okay. We got bigger problems in this country right now that we need to worry about. This thing at the Pulse, that horror there, we better get our act together in this country about how we're going to live our lives and how we're going to behave. And we're not doing very well right now.
Right. Dagan.
What we were talking about, Ed, about corporate communications in a crisis situation. Let's talk about how the leadership of the country is communicating with the American people after those 49 people were murdered by that terrorist down in Orlando. What do you make of it?
Well, I don't think they're doing a very good job at all, because it's deflect, it's distract, it's get off the issues that don't make any difference. You know, you could talk about the strictest gun control laws in the world. Look at France. They're tough as nails about that. It didn't stop a bad guy from going into a policeman's house and creating an assassination and doing it on Facebook. Come on. Let's get real about the issues here. It isn't about gun control. It's about how we're going to manage our public safety.
Right. Well, you were promoted to president and COO of McDonald's USA the same year as a mass shooting at a California McDonald's. That left 21 people dead. That was the 6th deadliest shooting in the U.S. How did you deal with that?
Not very well. Psychologically, it was one of the worst things I ever went through in my life. To go to the funerals in Southern California and see that casket of that 8-month-old go down the aisle of that church was the most devastating thing that I've ever experienced in my life. But you had to prepare. We got a lot of mentally ill people in the world. And you look at this guy in Orlando, you look at that guy in San Ysidro, they were mentally ill. And we have no capacity in this country to deal with psychopaths and the mentally ill. Our mental health institutions in this country are despicable. We need to start dealing with this stuff in a real way.
Should the candidates be talking more about this, Ed? I mean, you know, when you look at the presidential race right now, it seems like it's shaping up to be all about national security, about the economy. Are we talking about the right issues that are important to the American people?
No, I don't think so. I think our ruling class is all about self-preservation. Hillary's talking about, you know, whatever she's talking about continually. Trump is nicknaming all the candidates. I don't like what either one of them are doing. We should be more sophisticated. We should be more gentlemanlike and ladylike and try to deal with the substantive issues at the base and the core, not all this superficial nonsense. You know, Hillary did what Hillary did. But this country's in trouble. we've got to get serious about these issues.
Ed, you know better than anybody else that our economy is also in trouble. I mean, Janet Yellen deciding not to raise rates. Businesses are not investing. What is the single biggest thing that they should be talking about on the trail right now that they are not as it pertains to our economy?
The obstacles that are in front of big and small businesses that prohibit them from growing and developing profitability. Look at the second quarter corporate earnings. I'm telling you, we are starting to see a drop in corporate earnings like we've never seen before. You're starting to see back-of-the-house layoffs at Walmart and places like that. This economy's in trouble. We need to talk about, in my opinion, we need to reduce dramatically the taxes on corporation with a corresponding incentive to reinvest in technology, reinvest in the basic markets, and start giving some freedom from regulation so you can operate businesses without being under a microscope all the time.
But we're not.
We spend more time.
Instead, we're talking about the minimum wage, and we're talking about a movement that perhaps is going to sweep the entire country. What would be the result of $15 minimum wage from a guy who has seen it and done it?
Well, there's a lot of aspects of that. But first of all, the minimum wage debate in this country is not about the minimum wage. It's about buying votes from people that are desperate to have jobs. The minimum wage is inflationary. It was never meant to be a career wage. It's meant to be entry level. Take it to $15 an hour universally. Prices are going to go up. There's no way to avoid it. Companies will survive. The weak will go away. The middle will get weaker, and the strong will figure out a way to manage it. And when I talk about robotics, I'm talking about substituting technology for people. And make no mistake, it's already happening. I don't care whether it's automatic grill cooking equipment in restaurants, 5-minute turbo chef ovens, even in my own small restaurants, Tom and Eddie's, we're looking to change our entire service system to eliminate people from our restaurants. That's not good. We want to employ people. We want to have enthusiastic, engaged employees that look for a career. Right. And we're doing everything we can to stop it.
Here's James Freeman from the Journal.
Ed, we heard earlier on this program about Walmart cutting employees. You remember last year, to big applause from unions and the media, they said they were going to raise wages. A lot of this minimum wage pressure. Do you think that's related to their layoffs today?
Well, of course it is. How could it not be? First of all, Walmart wants to be a good corporate citizen. So they're going to embrace their employees. They need their employees. They need the goodwill of their employees. But let me tell you what, if their wages are going up and their profits are going down, you can only control occupancy costs, cost of goods, and labor. Those are the three biggest components of a restaurant. So you can't cut occupancy costs because you're stuck with rent contracts. You can't do anything about the product cost. It is what it is because it's commodity. The only thing you can do anything about is labor. You got to get rid of people. You got to make it more efficient. You substitute machines for people. It's just the real world. And every time wages goes up, the same thing happens.
Ed, great insights from you as always. Thanks so much for bringing such value to the show all the time. We appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you.
We'll see you
soon,
sir.
Have a good day.
You too.